Hey, it's John and Mike, brew-dudes.com, and Mike's decided that he's going to pour a couple of Budweisers for us. Just kidding. Right. Just kidding. This is the continuation of the lager series that we started last week. Mike said, hey, I was looking over my recipe book and I wanted to get back to a few of the recipes I had going last year. This is his latest iteration of his house lager. And I can't wait for this because you poured it out of the keg and it looked beautiful. It looks beautiful.
Look at that foam, man.
The foam's good. The clarity is great.
Yeah.
Tell us more about this version.
So after
of the house
doing
lager.
the American light lager Jar of Destiny beer,
Yes.
like you're trying to fit a very specific style with that. What I want, and then I also brewed earlier this year. I brewed like what I was calling like American homebrewed lager, right? Something with a little bit more going on, maybe not as much adjunct laden. So then this is the next step from here. I do have a house lager I did last year. This is house lager number 2. So the Miketoberfest beer is like something you drink and go, wow, this is bready, this is interesting, this is whatever. This beer sort of is closely related to that recipe-wise, but I wanted to take the breadiness out of it.
You did.
And just let it be a good drinker, but have it still have enough malt presence, enough body, enough all that stuff to make you realize I'm still drinking a quality beer, but it's light, it's refreshing, and it's good to go. So the recipe on this. So this is 62, almost 62.5% Weyermann Pils. This is now 33% Vienna from Weyermann. And then it's 4% Carapils. So foam and head
all
retention,
that stuff,
right? And then again, so this is a touch of lactic acid, 2 mL lactic acid, 2 grams of gypsum, and 1 gram of calcium chloride. No magnesium in this beer. The hopping on this guy was an ounce of Willamette. At 60 minutes at 5.8% alpha acid, and then it's an ounce and a half of, and I'm really beginning to love this hop in lagers, Sterling. At 7.8, right at flameout. So flameout, I'm doing other stuff, so it's got a little bit of a sort of steep whirlpool there. The mash schedule, very similar to my other ones. This is 40 minutes at 152, 20 minutes at 156, and I did 10 minutes at 168. Just to, again, try to just to drive fermentability. The starting gravity on this was 1048, and it finished at 1012.
Okay. So
still just enough life there. Maybe I would like it under 10, but whatever. And then, so that's about 4.75% ABV. And I fermented this. I went back to my roots for the lagers. Very tolerant yeast strain. This is W3470.
Yes, of course.
Because that one is super. I attended a talk on that at the Rhode Island NHC years ago. And the people at Fermentis were just like, look at all these tests we did, different temperatures, look at the gas chromatograms, and I was just eating that stuff up. It's like, this thing is just super clean. You can abuse it, you can do it, and it's really great. So this is the Weinstefaner strain, as what 3470 is, and it is super robust. There's a reason why they make a ton of beers with this yeast strain. So it's super robust. Gives you a clean ferment. I did ferment this just like this, fermented side by side with the Oktoberfest, so same schedule, 55 degrees for like 2 weeks.
Oh, nice. Yep.
Then then it came out. We had a little burst of warm temperature.
Yeah, we did.
And I just put those kegs in the garage, sort of near the garage door, so they'd get a little bit of warmth if I needed some de-rest. I didn't really actively try to do it. Then moved it cold and kegged them up. So here we go.
Well, if you didn't tell me that it doesn't have any adjunct in it, I'd say like, oh, you put something in here to lighten it up for sure. As lagers go, and of course, if I had a macro lager right next to me, I'd be like, oh, of course this has much more body. But without you telling me, I'm like, oh, this is really light, really crisp, and maybe I still have memories of Miketoberfest in my head. But dang, this is good. This is this is kind of like Nightlight or
Yeah.
From
yeah,
our friends.
Yeah, so Night Shift Brewing makes Nightlight, which I love that beer. And that's an all-malt light lager.
Yeah.
This is probably just slightly higher than that in terms of its ABV. Certainly its finishing gravity probably is higher than theirs. But it fits that bill. It's not, and the hops aren't necessarily as prominent because I wanted it to be enough to balance the delicate Vienna and Pilsner thing. But it's not, I wouldn't say that it's super zippy. It's just a little bit, it's pleasant. I think the hop balance is great.
Yes, the bitterness is right where I think it should be. It's clean bitterness, right? It's what they describe Magnum hops as, right?
There's a little bit of a, noble character in there from that Sterling style of,
the variety.
It's a derivative of Sots.
I see.
So
that's nice. Well,
without having to get Sots, which seems to be hard to get sometimes.
Yeah. And if you
I always see Sterling, so.
Right, and if you get Sots, it's like, are you getting the best quality?
It's like 1.2% alcohol.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I wish I had more to say. This is a great version of your house lager. I think that putting this side by side with something like, the Oktoberfest, it would be something that I would like to actually put into the mix. You can like have that and then like, oh, well, I'll finish that off, or I'll finish off this session with this, instead.
Yeah, I would definitely have a couple of Oktoberfests leading up to dinner, and then I could drink this during dinner, because this is very well approachable for me and my palate with food.
I mean, with lagers, anybody who's brewing lagers at home, sometimes you have, a little bit of like off flavors. Maybe there's, DME from a Pilsner malt, or sulfur, I don't know, notes from the yeast. There isn't any.
Super clean.
There's nothing. Yeah. There's nothing off about it.
I think there's just enough. I've been using Nova Lager a lot.
Yes.
And I sort of like that. But in this application, I went back to the 3470. I think it just is better. It just gives me a better finish.
I agree.
Better beer. There's still a little bit of character there. With the Nova Lager, it's just like silent, right? I mean, it ferments it, and it just, which is great if that's what you're going for, But for this, I just want a little bit of that character. I don't know.
I will say this. I will make this bold statement. I think Nova Lager is nice for those hybrid styles. I think that if you really want to get lager qualities in your lager beer, if that's what you're going for, you got to use 3470.
Yeah. Certainly if you're just getting started in lagers too, like I talked about last time, 3470 is the way to go.
Yeah.
If you want to start doing lagers, it's dry yeast, it's easy to get.
And you said that it takes a lot of abuse.
It can take a lot of abuse. You don't have to be down at 50, 55 degrees like this was. You can easily do that at 65 degrees. At least where we are, it's starting to cool off. You could easily pull off this lager in this basement without any active temperature control. Now, active temperature control, we've talked about it a lot of times in the past. It's a great thing, but you can still make great beer without it, especially if you have the right yeast. And 3470 is pretty forgiving.
It performs the same in a wide range of temperatures. Yeah. You think? Okay. Well, sir, this is like an A+. I don't know, man. This is good. I wish I could say, like,
I guess I won't screw around with House Lager anymore. This is it.
Hold on to
House Lager 2.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I
guess I'll have to brew this next year when it's warmer out. But that's usually when I'm making my stouts.
You got no timing, dude. You got no timing. Yeah, I know. Seriously, yeah. Why don't we have like a freaking, pour an extra stout during the summer months? Hey, that's what they drink, right? In any case, that's what we've been told. Wow. All right. Well, thank you for this. This is a moment. This is a moment for sure. And I'll have to explore Sterling hops.
Oh man,
I think that's
there's more to come on Sterling hops.
All right. I can't wait. I hope you enjoyed this video. I did. If you liked it, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel. We do this kind of thing every single week. For John and Mike, brew-dudes.com. Brew on.
Cheers.